Whenever you're ready.
What is up, YouTube? Snapdax here. I'm starting a new series here. We're going to be playing some card games with friends, whether it be Magic, whether it be Pokemon, or really anything else. Today, I'm at a friend's house, and we're going to be just playing a couple Magic games. Random decks that we have made, nothing too crazy format, like Standard or anything of that sort. I mean, it's 60 cards, but these are decks that we've had for some time now, so it's just kind of random stuff. I'm going to be playing...
Sure it's close to a decade.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing a control deck that has Nicol Bolas in it. My friend's deck that he uses from time to time. I have some decks that will play with, and you'll see that on the channel and some other videos, but this is just one I wanted to use while I'm here, so that's the one I'm going to be using. Playing my buddy Justin. He is playing an energy deck from a while ago, for sure. It's not the new energy set. I know Ether Drive just came out, and that brought back some energy, so definitely something he'll probably want to check out, but it is a energy deck from a while ago.
About 7 years, probably.
Yep. So that is what he's going to be using, so a more aggressive and control matchup. So, yeah, we're going to shuffle up here and cut, and hope you guys enjoy the match. Let me know what you think down in the comments and what you'd like to see. Like I said, it's just going to be kind of random stuff, whether it be Magic or Pokemon or other things, and who I'm playing against will be random all the time. So, but this is something I've wanted to do for a little while now. I really hope you guys enjoy just kind of seeing the POV that I have, and I'll kind of be breaking down what my thought process is, more for either experienced Magic players or people who are new to Magic, either way. And Justin will be doing the same with his side, which is why I want to kind of get his side of the playmat over there as well.
It's not as cool, but it's a playmat.
This is my Space Godzilla playmat, something I love. Is Godzilla, so couldn't help myself.
One thing that you could that might be cool too is doing voiceovers later on, like record the content, then do a voiceover after
Yeah,
the
could.
fact.
I do like this though,
No, it's fine.
so they can hear me at live. Basically what happens.
Just talking about politics.
Oh, okay.
Well, the only reason I say that is if you do play like a little bit more seriously, that way you don't have to announce everything. You can just play it and then go back over and voice over and be like, so with this hand, I was thinking, yada yada.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely let me know down in the comments if you think that's a good idea, that's something you guys would like to see. So I'm going to present the deck to Justin. He's going to present his deck to me, and we're just going to cut these in half, and we will draw 7 and look at our starting hands and see how we match up here. Control is actually one of my favorite things to play. I'm a blue player at heart. Sorry for anyone in the comments who doesn't like blue, but I do. Oh, I actually am 1 card short.
Gee.
So these are nice, but we need fuel for them, and we don't have any, so we're gonna have to mulligan. We have no lands in this hand, and we can't cast our spells without land, so I will be mulliganing.
I'm gonna risk it and keep.
Okay. So we're gonna put our hand back, reshuffle, and we will draw 7 again, but we have to put 1 on the bottom of the library. Doing the new mulligan rule. In the past, you just draw 1 less, but new mulligan rule, you still draw 7, but every time you mulligan, you just put 1, 2, 3 cards back on the bottom of the library. So that is what we will do. And it sucks with the control deck, because you really want to have as many cards in your hand as possible, so starting with 1 less isn't great.
I'm hoping he shuffles down to 3 cards.
And if the games go quick, we'll definitely play more, because I want to make sure I got some good content out for you guys. So there's 6.
I don't think they want to watch me crying in the corner.
Okay, so there's 1. And let's see. Okay, we can work with this. We have a couple of these and some interaction, so we kind of just have to wait. Hope we draw our way into it. If you want to roll for see who goes first.
I'll use
She's a 6-sided. So 6 for Justin's going to be hard to beat. I got 5. Okay.
I'll go first.
So Justin will go first. We'll be on the draw first, which I'm actually kind of okay with.
Yep. Admittedly, a lot of times I do like being on the draw first side, especially when you're taking a bit of a riskier hand. I'm going to start out with Stomping Ground, which is a dual color land. Basically what that means is it can be... I'm using a red-green deck primarily. That means I use mountains and forests. Dual color just means that it could be either or, not both. And this one in particular, I can pay 2 life to have it come in ready to go, or it comes in tapped.
Yeah.
I'm not paying 2 life out the gate, so it's going to come in tapped, and then I'm giving the turn back to Dylan.
So that'll be a shock land. Do you have life counter on your phone?
Oh, yeah, I can run that up.
All right. So I'm going to take my turn while Justin grabs life totals. So we drew another interaction spell. Not relevant now, but if we get the lands to do it later, that'll be perfect. So...
What's the base 20 here?
Yes.
It was still set to 40.
Okay. There's life totals. I'm going to change colors. Just so we know who's who. So I'm going to play a tap land and pass the turn back.
All right.
So I can't use my mana this turn, but next turn we could possibly do something with it.
Okay. Untap that, draw. That's actually a pretty good draw for me on my end. I'm going to then play what I just drew, which is a forest. And then I'm going to play an artifact called Cobbled Wings. Basically what this is coming in as 2 mana, so both of these are now tapped. Once I get some creatures on the board, I can equip it for a cost of 1, and basically it just gives that creature flying.
Perfect.
Very useful, very cheap little trinket.
So nothing we have to deal with now, but later it could be relevant. So
Especially if I tend to like big creatures in my deck, so if you see an 8/8 with flying suddenly coming at you,
it hurts for sure.
a little bit.
Am I good?
Yeah, your turn.
All right.
T-Rex and
Untap.
Hang Glider.
Draw.
It's not fun.
Okay, so we have plenty of what we need. We just need the fuel to get there. So I'm going to play an Evolving Wilds and just crack it right now. So Evolving Wilds says we can go into our deck and find any basic that we want. Just comes conveniently located on the bottom of our deck is our mountain that we want. So I'm going to shuffle. And present the cut to Justin. All right. And it is your turn, sir.
Alrighty. Untap the lands, draw my next card. That's another nice draw.
So there's really not much we can do with our hand at the moment other than this, which we kind of want to sit on for now. So that is what we're going to do. And then hopefully we can get the fuel to do this stuff.
So I just played a mountain, get myself some more red on the field. I'm going to tap all 3 and play a card called Frenzied Raptor. Card has no special effects. It's a 3-cost 4/2. It's coming in with Summoning Sickness, so it won't be doing anything till the next turn. I'll pass it back to Dylan.
So that Frenzied Raptor he just played has 4 power for 3 mana, which is actually a lot considering what is on the board right now and how much mana he had to spend to do it. So I think we're going to actually take the opportunity and delay him a little bit. So we're going to tap 1 and unsummon him back to your hand.
And I'm going to think very unkind thoughts.
Just to kind of delay the board so he doesn't start chipping us away for damage that we can't deal with. Then I'm going to untap on after his end step and draw my card. And we didn't draw land, but this is still a fine card. So we kind of have to deal with it for now and really hope we start drawing some lands. It's your turn.
Alrighty. I'm going to untap all my land.
We have access to these 2.
Draw a new card.
So.
Ooh, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. However, I do have a plan for what I'm going to do first before that. I'm going to play another mountain, and then I'm going to tap 3, and then I'm just going to replay Frenzied Raptor. Do you have anything to counter this while it's being played?
Nope, you're all good.
Alrighty. That's important to ask when you're going against a control deck, because a lot of times they'll have stuff in their hand, and you might want to give them a second to sort through it, as much as I would like to not. And then I'm going to tap 1 more, and play Similar Sprint. This gains a +2/+1, so he is now a 6/3, and gains haste till end of the turn, and I scry 1.
So, in response to him playing that card, thankfully the card we just drew is a perfect answer for what he just did. We're going to go ahead and tap 1 and use Shock and kill your Raptor before that spell hits.
Alrighty.
So Shock does 2 damage. He had a 4/2 Raptor, and this shocks it out. And then his other spell fizzles because it has nothing to target.
And we're back to square 0, and now it is the man's turn.
So it was a perfect turn. We didn't draw a land, but we drew a 1-mana spell that countered his entire 4-mana spell. So we're pretty happy about that. Now we just have to hope that we draw some lands. Perfect.
Not perfect for me.
And the rest of it's just interaction. So it is Justin's turn.
Alrighty. Untap. Play the land I just drew for mountain. Then I'm going to tap 2 green and tap 2 red. and play Sunder Shaman, assuming you don't have a response.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big spell.
It is a 5/5 that can't be blocked by more than one creature, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, I destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls.
Yep. So we kind of need to just keep delaying him as much as we're not drawing lands. So while we have the interaction in our hand to do it, that's a pretty good target for what we want to hit. So I'm going to calculate a dismissal and counter that.
Does that graveyard or does that hand?
It is graveyard.
I don't like you very much right now.
Control is fantastic.
It is not. You'll notice very quickly there's two distinct play styles. There is Snapdax's play style, which is Control, otherwise known as the Bastard.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is me, the Unga Boonga big creature. I'm just going to hit you really, really hard.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately doesn't work that well when he just sends everything. So he just dismisses it.
Am I good?
It is your go.
All right, so we're going to untap. Thankfully, Justin hasn't accumulated a lot of energy, which is what his deck feeds off of. So it seems like he's having a slow time getting off the ground with that. Thankfully, we're still drawing interaction spells that we can actually do things with. Thank God, because we still haven't drawn lands, and we have some things that we really want to cast, but we can't afford it. So we kind of have to settle for what's in our hand. And pass the turn back.
All right. Going to draw a card. And then I'm going to untap my lands.
And thankfully, we have access to all three of our colors. And still haven't taken a point of damage. Justin's got to be pretty happy about that.
Not very much. Especially when I had a 6/3 that I was really not gonna feel real good about hitting you with.
Yeah.
I'm going to, just for the sake of getting myself some more stuff to work with here, I'm going to pay 2 green, play Nissa's Triumph. Nissa's Triumph is a sorcery card. I can search my library for up to 2 basic forest cards. If I control a Nissa Planeswalker, which I don't at the moment, I could get more. But for now, it's going to be 2 forests, and then I reveal them, and then put them in my hand.
So that's going to give Justin more gas, basically. And what he's wanting right now is more gas.
Yes.
What we're going to actually do is delay him even more on the board, just like we are, and we're going to go ahead and negate that spell.
Lovely.
So we're going to tap like
Choose
that.
your friends wisely, folks. I didn't.
And negate counters that spell. Anything else, Justin?
No, it is your turn.
So considering he did nothing else in that turn, that was a good move by us. Considering also what's in our hand. We're going to go ahead and draw. And that is not at all what we want to see, unfortunately. So we're going to have to wait for more turns. It is Justin's turn.
I'm going to untap my lands, draw my card, and it works out. I'm going to play Forest. Now, we have to play a guessing game of, does Dylan have something, Snapdax have something to counter what I'm about to play? The answer is probably, but I'm going to try anyways. So I'm going to tap 6. This is all my mana. I'm tapping all of it. And I'm going to try and play Suncrowned Hunters. It is a 6-cost 5/4 with Enrage, which does for this creature, whenever it is dealt damage, it deals 3 damage to the target opponent directly.
I wish I had something for it, but unfortunately I don't, so it's going to have to stick.
God. Alrighty. Can't do anything else. It is Summoning Sickness, and I don't have any mana left open to try anything, so it will be Dax's turn.
All right,
sorry, I'm going to have to get used to
it's
that.
fine. So we don't have anything in our hand. Well, we have something in our hand right now, but we need the land to do it, so we can't do anything about that right now. But if we drew a land, it would certainly help. So we drew a land, but it comes into play tapped, unfortunately.
So I have a single turn to hopefully do something.
So he has a little bit more time that we want to give him. And we're going to pass the turn back.
Alrighty.
Justin's going to untap his lands before he draws because he's an experienced Magic player, I would assume.
Absolutely. Professional standards, guys.
Yeah.
Professional standards. Alrighty. Let's see.
Sorry, I'm trying to scooch in my chair here. Jeez.
Now, see, my concern with this is I have 2 options for what I can do, but knowing now that he probably will have a counter, and is one of the side effects of this, but I'm also revealing that I have cards in my hand that would be susceptible to this counter. I'm not sure if what I want to do with this now, because I'm not sure if that said counter is a board wipe or a specific target destruction, and that is the hard part, because now I have to try and choose, if I spend all of my mana to lay down some more big hitters, or if he's got a board wipe that's going to make me cry.
And this is one of the best parts about playing Control is he'll never know what's in our hand. He
don't.
has to play around so many
And
different
it gives me
things.
stress. However, as my mama once said, no balls. So we are going to tap 6 again. And we're going to play Burning Sun's Avatar. Burning Sun's Avatar is a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target opponent and 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. So Dylan will be taking 3.
I'll take the 3.
Default. Now, I will ask this one question. If I make that damage deal damage to him, does that proc and hurt you again?
So can I see the card real quick?
Absolutely.
Just this one. So Burning Sun's Avatar enters the battlefield, deals 3 damage to target opponent and up to 1 target creature. So yes, you could target that creature if you really wanted to. It doesn't say an opponent's creature.
Yep. Okay. So I will do 3 damage to my own card, putting it down to 1 health, making it vulnerable to Dylan. Snapdax.
Yep.
However, before that, it would also deal 3 more damage because of its Enrage card, because it does it to target opponent, dealing at least 6 damage just off of playing the cards by themselves.
Yeah.
Moving on from this, I have no more mana, so there's nothing more I can cast. Are you going to do anything at the moment?
Are you going to attacks?
I am going into attacks.
I am going to do something.
Okay, so before attack phase hits, Dylan will be doing
So thankfully,
Snapdax.
him hitting that other creature opens this up perfectly and allows us to deal with both of his creatures because he helped us. So we're going to go ahead and Hungry Flames that creature that he dealt 3 damage to kill it and deal 2 damage to him directly.
Dang it.
And then his turn's over since there's nothing else he can do. And so we're going to untap and draw. It is another land, which is beautiful. And
You have a cat that doesn't like existing.
yeah, apologize for the cat scratches.
Zach, get the cat.
What's she doing?
Scratching at the door.
So we are going to go ahead and so we want to wait on certain things just in case anything more comes out that we're more scared of. So we're going to go ahead and pass the turn.
Alrighty. So going back to my turn, because I am a professional, I am going to untap all of my
Yes,
lands first,
he
as
is.
you should, always. And draw another card. I'll hold on to that for now. That could be useful for a little bit of counter control later on. I'm going to simply tap 1. Actually, I'm going to leave this one available in case I might need it. I'm going to tap 1, play Fire Shrine Keeper. Fire Shrine Keeper is a 1-cost 1/1. It comes in, it has Menace, which means it cannot be blocked unless you assign 2 blockers to it. And for 8 mana, I can sacrifice it and deal 3 damage to up to 2 target creatures. Generally, that's the kind of card you would want to get in your opening hand to try and get some stuff on the field a little bit sooner, or at the very end when you can basically instantly summon and sacrifice it to just use it as a kill spell. Fortunately, I kind of got it in the middle grounds here. Going on from that, I'm going to move to attack phase. I'll see if Snapdax has anything he would like to do about that.
You can declare your attackers.
I'm going to declare Burning Sun's Avatar.
Okay. So we're going to stop him before damage. I'm going to use the card that thankfully we drew. It was actually in our opening hand, but we've been holding on to it this long to deal with that. So we're going to pay 4 and cast Hour of Glory and exile Burning Sun's Avatar. So that takes it out of the game completely, and it's a 6/6. We don't have to worry about it. Okay.
And now, because I can't do anything, it goes over to Snapdax.
Perfect. So that's a really good card to draw. It gives us more interaction with certain things. We don't really want to go all in on something like this yet because we don't feel confident enough and our life total is lower. And if we go all in on something like that and then he plays a bomb that we don't know about, then we kind of have ourselves in a bad position. So we're going to go ahead and pass the turn.
Alright, going back to my turn, I'm going to untap my lands, draw my new cards. Finally getting to the main point of this deck now. We're going to tap 2, and hopefully play Long Tusk Cub. So does Sir Snap have anything to say about this?
Long Tusk Cub.
Long Tusk Cub is a 2-mana 2/2. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you get 2 energy. I can pay then 2 energy to put 1/1 counters on this cub.
So
I have no energy at the moment, so he is just a 2/2 until he starts doing damage. Or I draw another card.
It's more of a little threat than it is something huge, so I don't think it's worth doing something like this. So I think we kind of just have to allow it for now, and then hope we can deal with it later. So we'll let it resolve.
Alrighty. Moving over to combat phase. Not much I can really do here, aside from maybe just swing with the 1/1 with Menace. Be a little petty, which I absolutely am. So
I'll take the 1.
And now it is
Go to 13.
Snap's turn.
Okay. So let's see what we end up with. Okay, never say we don't get what we ask for. Gotta land. So this card is relevant because it grabs from anywhere, which is nice. But again, I don't think it's worth it to do it right now, considering all we have is just interaction. The only one in his... Can I see your graveyard?
Absolutely.
The only one that he has in there right now is this guy, which is the Suncrown Hunters, or the Sunder Shaman, which is actually a decent amount as well, too. So that could be something we look at, but right now I don't think it's worth it. Although we are at 13, so... And this would buff it up a decent amount. And he only has 1 card in hand, so I think we might actually do that. We're going to tap all 5 and play Necromantic Summons.
Alrighty, so...
And grab your 5/5 guy.
This Shaman.
You got it. So we'll grab the Sunder Shaman. Can be blocked by more than 1 creature. When he deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. It's relevant because he has an artifact. And the Necromantic Summon Spell Mastery, because I have 2 or more instant or sorceries in my graveyard, it gets +2/+2. So it is a 7/7.
Well, that's not very nice for me.
So it taps us out and leaves us open to certain things, but considering he only has 1 card in hand and hasn't played it, we're in a decent spot. So we're going to pass the turn.
Alright, going back to my turn, I'm going to untap all before we begin. And then I'm going to draw a card and hope that is something nice. Wow. It was not that nice.
Okay. That's good news.
So, I will be fully honest, if I play this card, it's actually probably just going to help my opponent a bit more than I would like. However, I need more things on the field to hopefully deal with a 7/7, so I'm going to pay 1 forest, and I'm playing Old Growth Dryads. Old Growth Dryads is a 1-cost 3/3, which is pretty powerful quickly. However, it does have the downside that when it enters the battlefield, each opponent may search his or her library for a basic land card and put it on the battlefield. Tap, and then shuffle. So
Okay.
this does guarantee a basic land to my opponent, which, depending on the situation, can be useless or incredibly valuable to them.
So we're going to go ahead and grab an island, because that is the most relevant thing to us right now. So, see, you do got to pick your friends wisely, because sometimes they help you out. So thanks to Justin, we hit our 7th land.
I like to walk to my own execution.
A 1-mana 3/3, though, is very nice.
It is a very good card. It's just unfortunately one that you would like to get at the beginning of the game, where maybe getting your opponent 1 extra land wouldn't be as big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I will end my turn, and it will be back over to...
All right.
No, wait, I could have done... Oh, well.
So, really not a bad card. It allows us to set up our next couple turns a decent amount and possibly get us what we need for this thing here. Just nothing we want to do now, obviously. So, this can't be blocked by more than 1 creature, and nothing he has is bigger than a 7/7, so we're going to go to attacks. And
I'm going
send
to-
in the Sundering Shaman.
I am just going to take that 7 at the moment.
Okay. And because he dealt combat damage to a player, he's going to destroy your Gilded Wings. It is your turn.
All right. I'm going to untap my lands and hope that I draw something. That's certainly something. I'm going to immediately tap 4 and probably watch as my beloved spell is immediately countered. And try to play Bristling Hydra.
That is a card.
It is a card. I will read it out, but I would like to mention for the YouTube audience that I did not like the face that he just made. It makes me think that it's not long for this world.
You can go ahead and read it.
But for the sake of this, it is a 4 mana 4/3. When Bristling Hydra enters the battlefield, I gain 3 energy. I will be using one.
That's if he enters the battlefield.
If he enters the battlefield, which tells me immediately that he's probably not. But it would get me 3 energy, and then I can pay 3 energy to put a 1/1 counter on Bristling Hydra, and it gains hexproof until the end of that turn.
Yeah, so Bristling Hydra is one of his best cards, considering it generates him energy and then makes it stronger and gives it hexproof. So, unfortunately for Justin's account there, existence there, we have the perfect card for this. So we're going to go ahead and tap 3, and we're going to go ahead and cancel that and counter it.
Whee!
That way he doesn't get the energy and doesn't have a recurring energy threat.
It doesn't have the will to wake up in the morning either, but you know, that's just your standard control player.
Now, one thing it is open now, because I am tapped out of creatures, is he can swing back at me if he'd like to.
Which I will end up doing, because at current, the only generation for energy that I have is Long Tusk Cub. So I will be swinging with Cub and Dryads for a total of 5.
And there's not much we can do because we don't have anything to interact with that, so we will take the 5.
I will do the 2, and then I am immediately going to spend the 2 to get a 1/1 counter on Cub to make him a 3/3.
Okay.
And now I will pass the turn back.
At the end of your turn, we're going to play a spell that we just drew, thankfully, to help out with casting the other cards in our hand. We're going to use Glimmer of Genius and scry 2 and draw 2. The energy that we get is pretty irrelevant, so I'm not really going to worry about it.
Fair enough.
And Justin would like that energy, but I'm not going to give it to him.
I would. Oh, come on. I gave you a land. Pass it over.
So this we definitely want to keep. This we can pitch to the bottom. Scrying is just the amount of cards that you get to take from the top of the library and decide if you want to keep them on the top or put them on the bottom. So we'll scry 2 and then draw 2. The other card isn't very great, but it is what it is. And then we can untap, take our turn, and draw another card, which is also not great. So what we can do is play our island, and now we're able to do multiple things if we need to, or go all in something else. I think the correct play is to... We don't really want to use this for one thing, so I think trying to keep it on the board is the best thing we can do. But first thing we're going to do is move to attacks.
Okay.
And swing for 7 on our Sunder Shaman.
All right. I'm going to block him with my 1/1.
Okay, so that'll die and soak up the damage. And then on second main phase, we're going to tap 8 and play Nicol Bolas the Deceiver. And he's going to go from 5 and +3 to 8. So you will lose 3 life unless you sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card.
I'm just going to take that 3 life.
Okay, so we are tied at 8, and it is to your turn.
Alrighty. I'm going to untap. I'm going to untap. And I'm going to draw. Not bad. I'm going to move to combat phase, and I'm going to swing for 6 with these 2.
At
you.
Okay.
And then are you going to do anything about that?
There's nothing I can do.
Okay, so
I'm
you're
at
going
your
to take
mercy.
the 6, and then I'm going to pay 2 and play Lightning Strike for 3 additional damage to you to win the game.
He got us.
I'm really glad you tapped out on that. Otherwise, I was going to be real hesitant on
I was thinking about it because my other 2 draws were 2 lands. so I couldn't do anything there. But my other card in hand was negate.
I figured you had something, so I was really hesitant. I was like, I gotta wait for him to tap out. So
I was greatly considering not tapping out for Nicol Bolas, but you only had one card in hand, and you hadn't played it for a while. I don't know if was it that or was it something. It was that. So unfortunately, when it's something else in hand that he's had, we don't know about it. We can't play around it. Sometimes it's just how it goes. We did have the tech for it.
It was a close game.
But yeah, very close. I was kind of hoping he would just either not have anything like that and either swing for a little bit or not at all, because he had to deal with our 7/7. But unfortunately, he had the extra damage to put me down. So.
In the case anyone was curious, the card I just drew was Carnage Tyrant, which is a 6-cost 7/6 and is probably one of my strongest, if not my strongest, single creature in this deck without building. Because it cannot be countered, it has Trample and Hexproof.
Oh, yeah.
It is a very powerful card.
So Nicol Bolas let us down, unfortunately, but that's how it goes. We had a lot of good interaction, a lot of good back and forth. So in that one, so hats off to Justin for surviving through the control. He was thinking about tearing his hair out, but he made it through.
A little bit. I lost half of it.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching. This match is a little long-winded because we were explaining stuff, but hey, it's our first match, and I wanted to make it thorough. So appreciate you guys watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, if there's anything else specific that you possibly want to see, or if you have any advice of, possibly to improve the video or whatever you guys are thinking, or if you just like it. I super appreciate the feedback. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Have a good night, everyone.